Aloha, fellow travelers. Coming at you today from Warrenton, North Carolina. And it is an absolute picture of beauty out here. But let's talk drugs. When are drugs a good thing? Are drugs ever a good thing? And are we talking pharmaceutical drugs or natural elements? My personal OP on pharmaceutical drugs is that they're more or less toxic poisons. And I've been pretty much against them. But I've shifted my thoughts about that a little bit, because I have come to realize that yes, they will mess you up. Yes, they can mess you up. But what if you're already messed up? Like, what if you got messed up by other means? And now your only source of functioning and or comfort comes from taking pharmaceuticals. And I just can't bring myself to be against that. Now, surely there's going to be people out there that will think to themselves, I'm messed up, and therefore I need the pharmaceuticals, excuse me, and I would just use that as an excuse to take them. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that legitimately are messed up, and in order to function, they take these pharmaceuticals. So I'm cool with that. Well, again, it's just my opinion, so it really doesn't matter at all. But I mean, it's an interesting topic because they are so prevalent in our world today. And I guess, lucky, blessed, grateful that I've really never had to take too many pharmaceuticals. And I've always avoided it just intuitively. And then, of course, there's the natural substances. And I've pretty much never been against natural substances. Water is a natural substance. Can it be abused? Certainly could be. Food is well, I don't know, I guess we can't say that's a natural substance, but there are some natural substances that could be called food. Could those be abused? Of course they could too. So anything can be abused. But as far as like, herbs and plants, that's basically what we're talking about. That's where natural substances come from. Plants, nature. So, of course, I'm not against that. But again, you can abuse anything. Or you can take a natural substance like a poppy flower and turn it into a highly condensed, very addictive substance called crack. And it's no longer in its natural form once it's turned into crack. Are there uses for it? Meaning as, maybe let's say as a painkiller, or I'm sure it can be used in a productive manner. Makes you wonder, why don't we, instead of like I don't even know the names of pharmaceutical painkillers really. Like, I'm just gonna guess and say oxycodone. I don't know if that is one or not. It might be, but let's say that it is one. Like, why would we? Like, why not? Why don't they prescribe us cocaine instead of oxycodone? Is my thinking of. In other words, what people that are into drugs would say are the good drugs. The good ones, like cocaine and ecstasy. Why aren't those prescribed instead of these other things that are basically just versions of those, in my mind. So in other words, well, I know why. Because there's a black market for cocaine. And they don't want to start using their supply to make pharmaceuticals when they're just making a killing off of, regular cocaine and or crack. Part of the reason we went to Afghanistan, because it's one of the largest supplies of poppy flowers in the world. But that's a whole nother topic and issue. So it seems that it seems to me that almost everybody is taking some kind of pills for various reasons. And so I've had to adjust my own thought process on it. That, like, if there's nothing wrong with you and you want to start popping pills, you're kind of stupid. But if there's already something wrong with you and you're just trying to cope and get by and live and survive, then I can't, who would I be to try to tell you that you're wrong for taking these pharmaceuticals to try to get by and have a normalcy of life. So if you've been feeling guilty, because I know people that are in this situation and I know that they feel guilty, and it's like a sort of a dirty secret even, that they are taking pharmaceuticals to cope. So don't feel guilty about that. Don't feel bad about that. Everybody's got to try to do whatever they got to do to live and function and hopefully not be in pain, etc. And there's already plenty of guilt coming from numerous places already to have to deal with the guilt about trying to have normalcy of life and all this. So, of course, you know, try to seek natural remedies. Of course, try to tap your power within and begin to heal yourself. But not everybody's at the same place, and not everybody is in that lifetime where they were able to tap their higher self and bring about self-healing in that way. So for now, or in this lifetime, you're taking, you know, whatever you're taking to try to get better. So I don't know who this is for or what. Like I said, I know people in the situation and I feel for them. And I don't judge them. And we've got to stop any judgments, like any judgments that we have. Judgment usually stems from just ignorance. You just don't know the whole story. You just don't see the bigger picture. Or you just assume things. And in the assumptions, you think you're justified to judge. But we really never are. That's why they put in the book, judge not, lest ye be judged. But almost everybody that would say they subscribe to that thinking turns right around and judges. Because from the same place comes the self-righteous thought process of, well, since you're following the book, you're on God's side and God is on your side, and therefore you're justified. So you can go ahead and judge because you're judging righteously. See? But it's a mistake. Because judge not lest ye be judged applies to everybody. And what it's really saying, or what it really means, is the very method of judgment that you're using to judge other is that very same method that you're going to use to judge yourself. In other words, you're not going to be judged by something external. You're going to be judged by the judgments you yourself applied to others. And or yourself, because we judge ourselves too. So all judgment is shaky ground. But see, realize too though, of course we're going to make judgments about anything and everything. We do it all the time. We're doing it now even probably. But to go the step further with the judgments, to pronounce the judgment, or pronounce the guilt upon someone. In other words, you judged them and then you found them guilty, and then you projected upon them the guilt. That's what gets you. That's going to be what gets you, because that guilt that you pronounced upon another, you're going to come to understand that that is the guilt you're pronouncing upon your own self. That's why it says, don't judge lest you be judged. But it's all you. It's all you that's going to do it. It's all us. There's no external deity that's going to put us in a courtroom and judge us. But see, if you believe that that's the way it's going to play out, then likely it will play out that way. But it is only playing out that way because you believe. In other words, you're asking for it to, or you're expecting it to. And I would say you are co-creating it to. So there's no set way that you review your life when it comes time to do the life review. It's not a set in stone thing. It's something that you are also co-creating. That's why this is called co-creating. It's not just you, and it's not just the creator. We are inseparably intertwined in this thing called life and existence. Okay, so that's it for today. Everybody go get high. Think it over. Until next time. Happy trails, my friends. Wholeness.